tariffs take hold.
We've been ripped off for years by other countries.
1,300 jobs to be eliminated.
A major shakeup at the Department of Education.
Mission to retrieve 2 overdue astronauts.
They went up for about a week. They stayed for 9.5 months.
Good morning, I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, new global tariffs take effect today. President Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, which will affect Canada, Australia, and countries in Europe. CBS's Weijia Jiang says it follows a day of announcements and backtracking that rattled financial markets.
Despite Wall Street's reaction to the trade tensions, Trump said he does not think there will be a recession.
I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom.
Just 2 days earlier, he was not so sure.
Are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that.
Tuesday evening, surrounded by the CEOs of America's biggest companies who have watched their stocks slide, Trump defended his economic strategy.
The tariffs are having a tremendously positive impact.
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. With tariffs now in effect on $26 billion worth of European steel and aluminum, the European Union must act to protect consumers and business.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announcing tit-for-tat tariffs among the U.S.-made products affected.
That's bourbon.
Bourbon.
Anyone who's ridden a Harley Davidson.
And Harley motorcycles facing levies of up to 50% from next month, unless both sides can talk their way out of this.
The government says inflation slowed last month for the first time since September. The consumer price index increased 2.8% from 1 year ago. Egg prices increased by an average of more than 10% last month. 1,300 job cuts at the Department of Education. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports roughly half the staff has now been eliminated.
The Department of Education's a big con job.
President Trump has long complained the agency is ineffective and inefficient, saying he'd like his newly confirmed Education Secretary Linda McMahon to shut it down.
I want the states to run schools, and I want Linda to put herself out of a job.
Yesterday, McMahon told Fox News the job cuts were the first step in what's likely to be a dismantling of the department.
What we did today was to take the first step of eliminating what I think is bureaucratic bloat.
Correspondent Nicole Killian tells us a budget bill that would keep government running past Friday night has cleared the House of Representatives.
It goes over to the Senate, where it will require Democratic votes to pass, as Senate Democrats haven't really tipped their hand as to which way they may vote, although Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman has made clear that he does not support any type of vote in favor of a shutdown.
A powerful storm system slams the West Coast today, and it could kick up trouble from the Midwest to the Gulf Coast later in the week. CBS News Philadelphia meteorologist Kate Milo is tracking it.
In Southern California today, we're going to be measuring snow in the feet across the Sierra Nevada range, and we're looking at upwards of 2 inches of rainfall across Southern California, which, especially for those burn scar areas, could lead to the risk of runoff flooding and possible mudslides.
Overseas, CBS's Holly Williams has more on where things stand after the U.S. sat down at the negotiating table with Ukraine.
After yesterday's meeting in Saudi Arabia, the U.S. now appears to be back in Ukraine's corner and calling on Russia to agree to a 30-day ceasefire. Yet just last month, President Trump called Ukraine's elected president a dictator.
You don't have the card.
Before publicly berating him at the White House and then suspending U.S. security assistance and intelligence sharing with Ukraine. Both are crucial to this country's military. That pause has now been lifted, and the president's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, is expected to head to Russia for talks later this week.
The search intensifies for Sudiksha Konanki, the University of Pittsburgh student who vanished while on spring break in the Dominican Republic. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez reports a man who's been questioned has been labeled a person of interest.
A Dominican police source tells CBS News Konanki and the other women she was traveling with went to the beach with 2 American men. Her friends returned to the hotel, while Konanki and one of the men stayed behind. Later video appears to show him returning alone just before 9 a.m. Investigators in the Dominican Republic have re-interviewed the man she was last seen with as they continue combing through surveillance video and phone records. U.S. authorities, including the FBI, are also assisting in the case.
5 minutes after the hour.